So this video idea has been on my list for a very, very long time, and to be very honest, I have been avoiding it a little bit. Hi guys, welcome back to my Therian territory. You may call me Thorn, and in today's video I will be reacting to I Spent a Day with Otherkin, People Who Aren't Entirely Human by Anthony Padilla. So what is interesting about this reaction video is that I actually identify as a Therian myself, and well, to be very honest, within this video it is all being generalized towards Otherkin, which to some people is being used as like an umbrella term for both Otherkin and Therian, which isn't really true. Like lately there's been a development where we all just call ourselves Alter-Human instead, so it's rather the Alter-Human community than just Otherkin. So that's like a huge correction in this entire video already. Those pictures you see in the video of people wearing tails and identifying in a more animalistic way are more likely to be Therian, though not always, of course. I wanted to give a very massive disclaimer beforehand, and that is the fact that I believe that Anthony Padilla doesn't inherently do anything wrong within this video, nor does he really ever. I think he has a really nice way of being open-minded towards people who are a little different than the standard societal norms, so to speak. And of course he always picks out the people that a lot of other people often cringe about, so to speak, but that's like, he does it in a very educational way. He really puts aside any opinion about it, and he really just asks. I truly do believe that so long as you're not in community itself, you can never make a really beautiful, accurate representation of it. So within this video I will be reacting to both the good sides as well as the bad sides, and give correction when I see misinformation or see something where I'm kind of like, this doesn't really give a good representation or anything. And of course it's all based on my personal opinion. You're free to leave your own opinion within the comments section down below.
Otherkin, a subculture who socially and spiritually identify as not entirely human. My name's Anthony Padilla, and today I'm going to be sitting down with Otherkin to learn the truth behind this mysterious community and how they operate in the 21st century. Have Otherkin transcended our trivial human reality, enabling them to connect with other mythical and astral worlds? Or are they just perverse humans unable to cope with the day-to-day interactions necessary to survive in modern society?
So like right off the bat, a pretty nice intro, to be honest, though as I've said before, I've seen a lot of depictions over here that are more considered to be Therian. I even saw like a part of a documentary that was literally labeled as like a Therian documentary, so they've kind of put Otherkin and Therian together. And there wouldn't be anything wrong with this, but you shouldn't be able to like call that Otherkin only. That's supposed to be Alter-Human, because not all Therians identify as Otherkin. I don't identify as Otherkin in any way. I do not see it as an umbrella term. I do believe that the Therian label is a whole different experience than Otherkin, and right now it is being put together as if it's the same thing, which is not true. I will definitely be making a video in the future about the difference between Otherkin and Therian for those who are interested, but for now I just wanted to let you guys know about that.
Hi, Naya. Hi, Luis.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for coming out and teaching me about the wondrous world of Otherkin.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
So what do you consider yourself? Otherkin, just non-human, or?
I try to become an elf.
You're trying to become an elf?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of plastic surgery, like, you know, fantasy kind of features in my face and body to become something that doesn't look really natural.
I consider myself a British Columbia wolf and red fox Therian.
So yes. That's different than Otherkin, or is it in the same realm?
So Otherkin is more of an umbrella term.
Oh, so they do
Otherkin refers to people who identify in some way as non-human. Therian is a more specific term referring to animals that are living or were once living on this earth.
Basically, if it really existed in the realm of reality.
Right, that would be Therian.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't know that they were highlighting this, so I'm sorry if I was too prejudging about that the two are being put together like that, but that is indeed true. Like, the Therian identity is rather about actually experiencing animalistic behavior, that is not necessary when it comes to otherkin. So that's kind of like a really, really brief description of what the difference is. So I'm really glad that they did highlight this. I did want to mention straight away about the person who identifies as an elf. They have mentioned that they are undergoing surgeries to be able to look more like the fantasy elf creature, so to speak. And I did want to highlight straight away that this is not necessarily seen as Therian or otherkin, in this case otherkin, like making your body look more like the non-human creature that you identify as is not at all related to therianthropy or otherkinity in that sense. More specifically, actually, when you identify fully as a non-human being and not at all as a human, and you want to change your human body into something that is more non-human, that is generally more considered as trans-species. Wanting to change your body is not inherently trans-species when it comes to that, but like the whole idea of not at all identifying as human, therefore wanting to change your body to something else than human, that is considered trans-species rather than Therian or otherkin.
Do you know what Pleadians are?
Pleadians?
Yeah.
No.
They are a kind of elves that comes from space. They are beings from love and light, and they live in space and care about the earth, and I really like it.
So you are a creature built on love and light from space.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie, like I know the whole controversy behind this certain term, so I'm not gonna go into that. So I do know that this is not something that you should randomly identify as before you do research about it. But that whole description sounded a lot more like starseeds actually, which is generally considered to be like at least related to the ultra-human community. I'm not saying that it's part of it per se, but seeing that someone identifies as an elf but more in a starseed way is actually really interesting to see. So I didn't know that. I have actually not seen this video at all now that I think about it.
When did you first become cognizant that you were otherkin?
So when I was about 10 or 11, I had this friend on this Danny Phantom, you know, the cartoon of
Hell
fan
yeah.
form. And I met this girl about my age and we became friends. And she went into this anime phase. You have to watch Wolf's Rain. What is Wolf? You have to watch it. I'm not going to tell you the plot. You just have to watch it. So I watched it. I see, you know, the intro with Kiba,
yes.
that's the main character, the White Wolf, and I'm like, this is me.
Awakening through Wolf's Rain is actually a really common way that wolf Therians have found out their identity. I personally have also seen Wolf's Rain before I found out what a Therian was, but I knew straight away like that is a really beautiful representation of what I feel like, because within Wolf's Rain, the Kiba person is actually kind of like, they're a wolf, but they have some kind of human form that is like an allusion to other human beings. He's able to communicate as a human, but he is technically still a wolf, and he does look like a wolf every once in a while. It's kind of like this half human, half wolf type of situation, but he is wolf, and that's like a really beautiful representation of how a lot of wolf Therians feel.
My next surgery, for example, will be a mask under my skin.
Under your skin?
Yeah, it's my entire chin, my entire jawline, my cheekbones, and my eyebrows. So yeah, it's basically
a lot of
like a
dedication
plastic mask under my face.
Is that to completely alter the shape of your face?
Do you remember Angelina Jolie in Maleficent? Well,
yes.
I might do something like that.
You're gonna look like Angelina Jolie in Maleficent?
Maybe. I'm still deciding because it's really extreme, but I like extreme.
I love that shot. Oh. See, that's what I like about this. Like Anthony Padilla, sorry, I thought it was Padilla for the longest time, but Padilla, he is like so open-minded when it comes to this. Like even if he secretly thinks this is like super cringy or anything like that, he's still able to kind of view the world through their eye. This elf says that they are going through a certain surgery and that's gonna be like super epic. Then Anthony can actually sense that and actually feel like, oh, that is actually awesome from your perspective. I honestly wish more people in this world would be able to look through the lenses of other people like that, because that's a really nice and open-minded way of looking at things.
You change the shape of your eyes?
Yeah, I had cantopexy. It's like they put threads in your eyes and then they pull so your eyes turn like, you know, like the cat ones.
There's thread in your eye and they change the shape of your eyeball.
And that one was terrible. I screamed when I woke up from the surgery.
Oh, what the fuck? So like, it's not at all that I'm invalidating the experience of this elf person. I don't remember their name, sorry. But it's just the whole plastic surgery thing just makes it look like every Therian or otherkin wants to go under plastic surgery, while it is generally not related to that at all. So many Therians and otherkin are totally okay with being human, totally okay with what they look like as human. They may experience species dysphoria. That doesn't mean they always want to go under surgery. I don't want to do anything surgically. Like, I don't want any body modifications except for maybe tattoos and stuff and piercings, but I don't feel the need to, like, I don't know, sharpen my teeth or make my ears pointy or stuff like that. That really generally also just isn't a very great representation of the ultra human community at all. So I feel really double about this part, about this person being so expressive about their plastic surgery, because it makes it look like it's part of the concept, which maybe to some people it is, but to most it just isn't.
Do when a mouth there follows a howl.
Sure.
Why now? Why now? Why do you
Whoa.
do that?
How'd you feel when doing that?
Like, it gets me...
I have absolutely no issue with any of what just happened. It's just that it makes it look so cringy. Like, to those who are less open-minded about all of this, they're gonna laugh at this. And I'm just kind of like, you could have decided not to howl in this video, you know? That's kind of how I feel personally. I would not howl unless I would be out in the woods and just kind of showcasing how I would howl during that situation. But during a random interview, I would never howl like that because I would know that it would be cringy. But I guess to each their own or something.
On all levels except physical, I am a wolf. I mean, I'm a meme, right? You can't undo a meme.
You're not a fan of that meme?
That was a misrepresentation of me. That was a misrepresentation of a community that I'm a big part of, and that I'm deeply ashamed of myself for letting down. And that I regret that deeply.
Wow. I've actually never seen this part of the video. I will be honest, this is a meme that has caused a lot of harm to our community, specifically the Therian community, but also the otherkin community, because they're used interchangeably to a lot of people. You know, I've always kind of wondered, like, what does Naya think of this meme? How does she look at this? How does she look back at this documentary in general? Because I have actually reacted to that documentary where the meme has come from in the past. I will link it over there so that you can check it out. In that video, I already explained how incredibly disappointed I felt over that specific meme, because it created such horrible, like, representation of our community. It made it look like we were idiots, so to speak. It made it look like we had some kind of weird delusion going on, which is just not the case. It's just so much more than just randomly thinking you're an animal. It's so much more than that. Hearing that she regrets that this meme has ever been created, even though, like, to be honest, she had no control over that. She's still a part of that. So I was kind of always wondering how she felt about that. But this is like, I'm honestly really glad to hear about that.
Has identifying as otherkin altered your eating habits?
I'm savage AF. There's this scene in the logo doc of me just like tearing up pizza.
Yeah.
And even after that was filmed, people were like, my friend who was in it with me, Naya, are you sure? Like, do you want that? That's how I eat.
I actually,
to be honest, this is kind of accurate. Like, yesterday, I bought myself some beef jerky because it was on sale, and I devoured that. Just like exactly like how a wolf would devour its food. So even though that may come across as cringy to some people, it's still accurate. Like, a lot of Therians and a lot of otherkin like to behave like what they identify as, because that just comes natural to them. Of course, not all Therians and otherkin do that, and we can certainly control it. So I'm also glad that within this interview it's being cleared up that she chose to do that she chose to keep that in the video as well.
you know, they bullied me because I was different, but right now people love me for the same reasons I was bullied before.
You know, that I have to certainly agree with that. Surely when you are openly expressing that you are, for example, identifying as an animal, or when you are openly wearing gear, for example, that's something that I personally do. I don't go around telling people I'm a Therian per se, but when I go to school, I do wear my tail every single day. And I remember my girlfriend saying, like, when I told my girlfriend that I was going to go to my introduction week with my tail on, she was like, are you sure you want to do that? And I was just kind of like, you know, it may push some people away, but it also brings the right type of people towards me, the people who are actually open-minded. So it quite automatically filters out the people that I want to hang out with, that are like good for me.
Many people say the word sorry.
How does that make you feel when they apologize?
Actually kind of good for them, because I know now that people is changing, not just them, all the world is changing. Yeah. They are more comprehensive, they are more open-minded, the love is growing, and that's what we need, because the world is ending and we have to love each other and work together to make this a better place.
Amen, I guess. Yeah, there's definitely truth in what they are saying about that the world generally is becoming more and more open-minded, not just towards something as extreme as ultra-humanity, but also towards, for example, people of the LGBTQI+, but also just generally people are more open towards getting to know the people around them, even if they're a little strange to their knowledge or a little less according to societal standards, so to speak. So I do definitely agree with that. Like, I'm glad to live in a world where we're slowly but surely starting to accept these kind of traits of other people.
You need to subscribe to Anthony's channel. And do you know why you need to subscribe?
Why?
Might just tear you to shreds.
This is the same as the howl done before. Like, you've just provided a lot of beautiful information and being very educational and stuff, but you're kind of just ruining it by memeing yourself like that. I would never personally do that. I'm not like judging you or anything for that, but you could have not done that. Like, I guess it's a funny joke, but when doing interviews like this, it's kind of important to know how you come across to other people. And I guess right now, those kinds of details where they're like howling and growling, that just kind of makes me feel like, maybe you shouldn't do that. I don't randomly growl to be funny personally. Most people probably don't when they are Therian, so. Oh. Okay, to wrap up the video, let's think about what the moral of this video is. I guess the moral of this video is that I shouldn't have judged this video beforehand, because there was a lot more positive information in there that I had not expected would be in there. There's a lot of corrections on a lot of misconceptions that have been floating around on the internet about Therian to be an otherkin for a long time. I'm glad they also kind of clarified the whole difference between Therian and otherkin, for example. I have like a whole playlist of me reacting to certain TikToks or certain videos, documentaries, cringe compilations, etc. So if you want to check that out, you can watch this card at the corner of my video over here. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please leave a like down below, or maybe comment down below, or if you have any critique, you can also comment down below, of course. And if you really like my videos and want to see more in the future, perhaps consider to subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys in my Therian territory in the next video. Bye. A massive thanks to my Therian territory members Bloody Toomey, Daphne Sten, Shadow the Wolf, Alkura Wintermist, Arden Zephyr, Senji, Thomas, and Waita. Join the Therian territory membership for early access, extra features and content, and more personal contact with me.